on team news, if that's okay.
Let's start with the negative. Is Walter Benitez injured the day after the game? He dislocated his small finger. Yes, his small finger. Yeah. And so he needs to rest now. So he will miss West Ham and Liverpool, and then we are hopeful that he can come back. So after the Liverpool game, but the next 2 games he's very likely to miss. And the positive news are that Adam Wharton and Adrian Ketia are fit, are back in the squad tomorrow, and we have no other issues from the Millwall game, and so that's the positive part.
With Adam Wharton and Adrian Ketia on Tuesday, you said not to expect too much from them coming straight back in. What can we expect? Are they fit enough to start, or
I think Adam is fit enough to start. He just missed 2 weeks. 10 days, then he started his training on the pitch, and he was with us now for a few days. And it is a little bit different because he missed more or less the whole preseason. He was out for the last 6 weeks, but he looked very, very good in training today and also on Wednesday when we had a really intense session. And so let's see how the game is going, but both players looked very sharp in training.
Is the timing of Eddie coming back now kind of perfect timing? Because you said after Tuesday that JP was showing signs of fatigue with so many games already at the start of the season.
Not just games, every single minute. You know, it's as a striker sometimes after 60, 70 minutes you are very exhausted. You have to work a lot, and then you bring in fresh legs, and that makes it also difficult for the defenders because the defenders get fatigue as well. So and therefore it's good having Eddie back, but not just for this reason. You know, it's we always want having every player available and fit, and so that's why we're always working hard. And big credit to our medical department, to the rehab guys, and of course to the players as well. So they worked really hard, and everyone. So it started with Daichi Kamada, and now with Adam and Eddie, and also Ismaila will start to train with us on Sunday after the West Ham game. So everybody is coming back earlier than expected. So that's credit to all of them.
And with JP, how do you manage his minutes throughout the season? Because we are only into September. We know it's going to be a long campaign, of course, with Conference League starting in a week and a half's time. How do you manage his minutes? Usually,
the strikers always want to play every single minute, and when you go through all the leagues, the games, and I watch Champions League, so many Champions League games during the week, and so Harry Kane plays almost every single minute. Yeah, Haaland plays almost every single minute, and this is Mo Salah plays almost every single minute. Yeah, that's the attacking players, the strikers. They always want to play because they want to score, they want to contribute to a win. And JP is the same, and it's just having the option. Yeah, that's good. And so we don't say to you play 60 or 70, because usually when we need a goal, I always want our top striker on the pitch, and JP is the top scorer for Crystal Palace in the last 2 years. He scored almost 40 games in the Premier League in 2 seasons, or a little bit more than 2 seasons, and that's why if you need a goal, you always want to go. The players on the pitch who showed that they can score goals, and that's JP, and that's why we also always, games were very tight. Yeah, we always needed a goal, so that's why we always kept him on the pitch.
I want to ask you about Romain Esse. You were very open after the game on Tuesday about his performance and the reason why you took him off at half-time. Have you had a chance to really speak to him this week and talk to him about how he's feeling post that game? Because I can imagine as any player being really disappointed coming off at half-time in any game.
Oh yes, of course. I talk to Romain very often, and I think, also here very honest, I think it's now important to press the reset button. It looks like, and it's not that he doesn't want to do the things. He tries, and then sometimes it just doesn't work. And sometimes you can just watch the physical data. And when you watch them in the Millwall game, he was running almost 6 kilometers in the first half, but he was just sprinting for 20 meters. So he tries to do everything, but then he's not there where he should be, and he doesn't have the right intensity. So it's not a lack of effort, it's just that things don't work. So he tries and tries and tries, but maybe a little bit too much, and then taking too many wrong decisions, and that's why I think it's important now pressing the reset button, and because and that's, I always look at myself. So what I did wrong and what we did wrong, that he doesn't feel comfortable and is in his best shape, because at the moment he can't show his quality, and that's definitely my fault, and now it's to support him to get back in confidence and get back into his best shape. And yeah, sometimes it's not now doing a video session again and showing him and talking, do this and this. So he tries, but it doesn't work. So it's now, I think it's better really make a cut and start again.
Is it, as a manager, just on that, is that an extra challenge, an extra layer that perhaps not everybody sees as part of your job, having to, I guess, react differently with different players' needs and what they need from you in terms of improving their performances?
I think you can ask any manager. This is, for me, this is just, I think 90% of my thoughts are around this topic here. What does a player need that he can perform best? So we can't teach them something they can't do, you know. So it's always to get the best out of every single player, and I think we all agree that Romain doesn't show his top level at the moment. And then I always start, what can I do? Because I said we have always one message, never point to the other. So if you want to change something, you have to change it. So it's not now pointing on Romain and say you have to do this and this and this and this. So it's also, okay, what can we and the whole staff do to support him? Of course there are some demands he has to do as well, but then we work together, and this is what we're doing with every single player. I remember last year at the beginning of the season, JP didn't score, and I benched him twice. He was fatigued from the Olympic tournament, and then his talks, okay, what can you do? And sometimes then it's good not always say if the hardware is full, it doesn't make sense to put something in. Then you need to release to create space again, and then it's possible to start. And that's with JP, for example. I benched him twice to say, okay, now relax, calm down. And then he came back and scored again, and with Romain I think now it's the same. And it's not a punishment, never. It's really everything I'm thinking about together with my staff is what's best for every single player, because we need every single one, we want every single one, but we need them on the top level, otherwise they can't help the team.
And look, finally for me, despite the European issues that went on in the summer, despite the transfer frustrations that I know you felt in the summer, your side's unbeaten in 16 games in all competitions. You've got an opportunity to make it 17. Do you ever get the chance to look and go, this is quite remarkable that we were able to put away any differences, any struggles, any issues, but on the pitch with you and your squad, we're able to shut off and concentrate on the job we're doing?
Yes, and this is, I told the players, and I gave all the credit to them, and they deserve all the credit, because they have to perform on the pitch and they have to get these results, and that's, for me, it's incredible and outstanding what this group of players is doing with all the noise about, and it started also, you know, when all of a sudden Epps didn't play against Fredrikstad, and then at Villa, and we were winning, and then having the noise at the end of the window, and having the players not here to train together, but they always keep working, they always keep believing with a great work ethic and a great spirit in the group, and so really these players deserve all the credit, because they are the ones who are performing, regardless if we have to make a few changes, and regardless if we have an injury, regardless if we have to make a sub after 20 minutes, like it was in the Community Shield. So, and really huge credit to the players for this.
Thanks, Oliver.
Thanks very much. Sam from PLP.
Oliver, good to see you. Just continuing that thought on the unbeaten run, now 16 games. For you, when you do look back at it, what has gone so well for you in that time? What do you think is some of the reasons behind the unbeaten run?
I think it's not just the unbeaten run. It's just you get all the stats, and then in 2025, I think we have now 32 games. 33 already. I don't know exactly. So what it was, I think we were 18 wins, 10 draws, and 4 losses. So losing 4 of 32 in 9 months. That's incredible for a Crystal Palace side. It's incredible for every single side. And this is how this team is performing. And it's them. And with many different circumstances. Big finals. Also, this we had 2 heavy defeats within 3 days. Yeah, this was City and Newcastle. So then the rest is just 2 defeats. And we know when we play on our, let's say, close to our top level as a team. Not individually, and also we know now we can play better in the attack. We could be more efficient, but we know what we can rely on. Also, when you see them, when you go, sometimes the stats tell you the part of the truth, not the whole truth, but part. And I don't know exactly because we talked about it last week, so I haven't updated. I'm not updated, but I think we conceded 28 goals in this. At 31 or 32 games, and in 2 games we conceded 10. So that means in 30 games we conceded 17 or 18 games. That's an average of 0.6. Yeah, and this is our foundation. And I talked about it very often in the transfer window. This is our foundation. Yeah? It's not so easy to score many goals against us because the team. And it's, of course, it's the back 3, it's the goalkeeper, but also you can see when Walter is in there, it's not with the wing backs we can change, but it's the whole team performance. They know exactly what to do. That's why it's important that we stay together, more or less. So from the first 14, 15 players regarding the minutes, we lost just Epps, and now integrating 1. Is easier than integrating 3 or 4, and we could see, and that's why again it's not to blame anybody and it's no excuse, but as soon as we bring in 3, 4 new players, the system doesn't work, it's not fluid. But again, how could it be if you don't train together, if you don't play together, if you get used to a new style, if you have to get used to a new league, if you have to get used to a new language, to new teammates, so many new things, then it takes just a little bit of time. The good thing is that we know that we can rely on the foundation, and that's I think this is the reason for the run.
Does your management style change when things are going well, as opposed to maybe when the team is struggling? We spoke a lot last season about confidence, and you alluded to your team almost trying too hard at times. Now, is it a case of the less I say, the better, just let them get on with it?
No, it's really a little bit weird. I think it's the opposite. When today's the players are so self-critical and so ambitious that I said to them, and so let's talk about an insight. They're not pleased with their performances in the last games. So, and we can see, no, this we have to do better, this we have to do better, this we have to do better, this and this and this, and I want to do this and this. And it looks like we are not completely free at the moment. Is my view when I see how many good situations we have, especially in the attack, and how many wrong decisions we took. Yeah, and all these players proved it so often that they can do this better, but they put a little bit too much pressure on themselves. Yeah, they know it and they want to score, and and so it's more even now. And I said to them, hey, today in the meeting, I said I think I don't know exactly, but I really believe it's the most successful period in Crystal Palace history. Yeah? So you are the ones. So it's good to be ambitious, but then I start with myself. Maybe it's I always want more and more and more and winning. So we've unbeaten, but I said too many draws. It's my habit. I said okay, that's the same. You always say the team is a mirror of the manager, and then I said okay. Also I have to relax a little bit, so it's all on track. And we need this freedom. We need this creativity, especially in our attack. Yeah, we need formation, patterns, habits, reliability in our defense, but we need creativity, and creativity is also freedom, and this is what we want to give them with all the ambition we have, and then let's see if we found the right words, and we will find the right words for tomorrow.
West Ham United 18th in the Premier League. How important is it not to underestimate them going into this one?
I think if somebody underestimates any opposition in the Premier League and in every other league, it's you make the first mistake and then you deserve to lose. So if you underestimate your opposition, you don't bring the respect to them and then you deserve to lose. So we never underestimate anyone. No, I think the lowest league we played was Doncaster, League 2 side, and we respected them. And this is the same with West Ham. So many good players, fantastic manager, great stadium there, so there is I don't see any issue. And just 2 weeks ago, 10 days ago, I don't know exactly, they won 3-0 at Nottingham after we drew against them. Yeah, and also could see they struggled against Tottenham with set plays, but also they had a few good chances. So it's a very good side, very good Premier League side, and it's just see football, how quick football is. 1.5 years ago, they won the Conference League. After 40 years, whatever, we played them with Frankfurt in the semi-finals of the Europa League. We are 6th or 7th at the end of the season, so football is sometimes really crazy. But it's a very good side, great manager with huge respect. We prepared very well in these 3 days, as good as we can. But we're looking forward to a great game Saturday afternoon. Nice weather, players available, players are fit. We are in a good shape, so then it will be a great Premier League game.
JP was in scintillating form last time he played at the London Stadium, other than dismantling the corner flag like he always does. But what are your memories of that game?
Yes, it was. We showed a few clips today to the players because Graham Potter was already there. The style is similar. There they mirrored us a little bit, so they played with also in a 3-4-3, but now they changed the last 2 games into a back 4. We don't know exactly what they're doing tomorrow, but the way they are playing is very similar. And JP was maybe on his peak of the last season. And sometimes when you come back into an environment where you feel comfortable and have good memories, this helps to get back into your best shape, and that's what we also hope for him. And we encouraged him, And you have a striker, maybe you have 3-4 games you don't score, you miss a few chances, and then you have 3-4 games and when he scored the first goal, it was not the biggest chance, but he just scored and he made a 40-yard run, and then just took the right decision and kicked the ball into the bottom corner. The second goal was excellent. He had the assist, and we defended very deep also. And then Eddie Nketiah made the run, and we got the penalty, and then he could score the second. So again, he has already 3 goals this season. It's all fine, and going to London Stadium was a good feeling.
Just finally for me, you mentioned Graham Potter before. He's obviously having a bit of a tough time of it at the moment. Do you sympathise when you see managers struggling a little bit, or is that just part of the game? It happens to almost every manager.
Of course, I'm following what's going on in the world of football, and then that's why I really try to get independent of what's going on sometimes. And it's not just here. And then again, I don't blame anyone, but you see here in England what happened with Nuno. In Germany, there was one manager sacked after 2, the other one after the second, and the other one after the 3rd round. It's now with Jose Mourinho. So he was sacked because they lost against Benfica in the Champions League qualification, and now the Benfica manager gets sacked because he loses in the Champions League 3-2. So sometimes and you are part of this game, and so it's really sometimes nobody can understand, and when you are one and having this position, sometimes you just can't understand why things are happening, but also you are far away, you never know the insights, and I have no influence. I'm really enjoying the environment here, but it looks like that time is rushing, and not just in the world, really in football, and patience is something nobody, this word many have forgotten.
Yeah, patience is in short supply, I think, at the moment.
How is it?
I said patience in the world is in short supply.
Yes.
We don't have much patience just in life, do we?
Yeah.
That's probably one for another day. Thank you.
Thank you. Just before we finish, we have a gentleman with us whose work experience with Sky. He has one
Hi,
question.
Laura. Nice to meet you. You've always had great faith in Daichi Kamada. He seems to be affecting the game in a real positive way this season. What do you think is different for him this year?
He's adapted to Premier League football, and again, I would like to quote my chairman when we were speaking about. He said, usually in England, you see always everybody said, okay, every new player needs about 1 season to get adapted to the Premier League, and now we don't have the patience anymore. We think we get him in, and after 2 games, he has adapted, and I think this happened with Daichi. Yeah. And you can see it now with new players coming in from different leagues. They're struggling a little bit with the physicality, with the intensity, and then it's always talking about what's intensity. You know, when you see the running data, it's no difference to the other leagues, to Germany, and also when you see now the Champions League games, it's not the difference, but it's the intensity of the duels. It's the referees let the game run and no fouls. That means. In many situations where you expect a foul, and you can see many players who arrive in the Premier League, they lose the ball and they expect a foul, and then you see them sitting on the grass and doing like this, but games is continuing. And then you have to get used to it, yeah, to be stronger in the duels. You have to, or find other solutions, yeah. Even if you're not the strongest one, play quicker and finding quicker solutions. And this is, I think, what happened with Daichi, because he's such a great football player, he's such a technical player that he now finds quicker solutions. So he's not stronger than he was 1 year ago, but he finds quicker solutions. He has now more confidence. He could see that he can compete on this level. Yeah, at the beginning, then he had a lack of confidence because he could see, oh, it doesn't really work what I was used to do. So he has to adapt his style, but the good players adapt and the good players develop, and then they show that they can play their role in the Premier League as well. And this is, I think, what you can see with many players here. And let's say maybe it was Mo Salah when he was the first time in the Premier League. It was for Chelsea. Yeah, it didn't really work out. So then he went, left the Premier League and came back. And now in the last 10 years, he's one of the, or 8 years or whatever, he's one of the dominating players in the Premier League. So it's not so easy. And I think that's the reason.